So I've been collecting neckties from thrift stores for the past couple of weeks to make a skirt. I love the patchwork, pleated style of this kind of skirt, and even though it's not perfect, I love how it turned out. So to make this yourself, you'll first of all need ties. I thrifted most of my ties and my dad donated a few. I tried to have somewhat of a colour palette going, mainly reds and blues, and tried to choose ties that were silky and avoided ones that weren't as flexible. You'll also need scissors, measuring tape, sewing pins, a zipper, and something to use as a waistband. I just ended up using scrap fabric that I'd cut off the bottom of a t-shirt a while ago. You could also just use an extra tie for the waistband. To see approximately how many ties you'll need, measure your waist and lay out your ties on something of that length. I wrapped a ribbon around my waist and put a pin at the right width. And I held a tie from my waist at the length I wanted the skirt, which for me was a kind of midi length, a bit past my knees, and cut the remaining portion of the tie off, and then cut all the ties to the same length. Now it's time to remove the padding from inside the neckties so they're more flexible and silky. I had a pretty slow start, snipping the thread all the way up. But then I realized I could pull the thread and it would all undo. Once all the ties are ready, lay them out in the order you want to sew them. I was particular about my order so that I could evenly distribute the colours and repeated patterns. I started at the pointy ends and used a zigzag stitch to join the two ties together. And you just keep going one tie at a time until they're all connected as one piece of fabric. It can get a little tricky when you've got two different kinds of fabric, like I had a few very silky and thin ties next to some sturdier thick ones, and I struggled to get them sewn evenly, which I guess is why it's so random at the top with different lengths. I expected a slight curve, but clearly I did something wrong. So I cut the top to be neater, and with a straight stitch sewed my waistband, which was just fabric cut off an old t-shirt, on the front side of the skirt. I left a bit sticking at the top, which I then folded over and sewed to the back. Lastly, we add the zipper. I would recommend a longer zipper than I've got here because I can only just manage to get the skirt on and off, as it's not a super wide A-line skirt. And from below the zipper, connect the two sides of the skirt again with a zigzag stitch. And after trimming all the excess thread ends, the final product. I can wear the skirt in 3 ways depending on where the zipper goes, so I style the skirt with 3 different tops. This is my most recently crocheted vest. I call it the strawberry chocolate vest. That's my cat, Cheese, he's very distracting. And here's another t-shirt vest combo that's a little simpler and more casual, which goes well with the busy patterned side of my skirt at the front. Hope you enjoyed this DIY video. Please let me know down below if you plan to make your own necktie skirt, and if you do, I'd love to see what yours looks like. Feel free to tag me or send me a DM on Instagram. Thanks for watching and see you next time.